All right, we are back at the North American Invitational. We are rounding out the day. We've got about 1 more hour's worth of action. This is the girls U18 Elite. We have Atavus wearing blue, and also in blue we have the Rhino team. So Rhino distinguishable by their neon yellow socks. They've got the blue, white, and green details on their jerseys. They are receiving the ball. That was Atavus that kicked off to them. Just an update earlier, we were watching the boys U18 Elite action. So out of Pool A, we had the Celtic Barbarians, Atlantis, and Rocky Mountain Rebels. That was the Atlantis U19 team in their bracket. That was just a Pool B clash between Atlantis 2 and the Atavus Selects. We've heard that Harriman Rugby is wanting to play Rugby USA, just fell to Atlantis 2. I'm going to say that Atlantis 2 is going #1 out of that pool because they had taken on Atavus earlier in the day. We do have multiple fields going on, so you can get all your score updates at nai7s.com. Click on schedules and brackets for more info. Pool C, earlier we saw Eagle Impact take on Rhino Academy, and then it was the Utah Lions Elite and Upright Rugby. I'm assuming we'll have a couple more of those matches as the day goes on. But right now it is Girls Elite, and it is Rhino Academy with the ball. This is a team that is all populated from the same high school, a rather new program, and they wanted to come out and just test themselves against the best. In their first year, they've had some great success. And let me just pull up a little bit more of my information from them. Atavus, of course, very familiar with. We saw their boys play earlier. This is a team with players from 5 different states, and found out that actually one of these young ladies is actually from Shanghai. So we've got the North American and Asian Invitational going on here this weekend. Is it ni hao, right, to all of our viewers in China?
Xie xie.
I knew how to say happy birthday because my son was taking Mandarin in his pre-K class, and they would sing happy birthday to you in Mandarin, and we would talk about numbers. I took a Japanese class in high school, or in college, I should say, so I was able to...
Japanese and Spanish?
Yeah, I don't speak Japanese. I took 1 semester. It's Spanish and just a little bit of French.
I can say I love you in Chinese.
Well, there you go.
Mandarin. Wuaini. My accent's probably like way off.
Fortunately, with our North American Invitational here, we've got all our teams from USA and Canada, so we don't have to worry about the language barriers. But that's a nice thing about rugby, is that we've got all these hand signals with our referees, so you can know.
Like
we've
math.
had ref exchanges, and it's universal.
It's universal.
Rugby's universal.
Like
Yeah.
well, the hand signals.
I don't think we ever involved math with hand signals. So.
Now we can. There's our entryway.
There we go. So we'll pull up our info here. So yes, this Rhino Academy Elite team is playing. They're NorCal based. They played in the Las Vegas Invitational, the Great Northwest Challenge, which is an all-star tournament in Oregon. And they are made up of the Land Park Harlequins team. So they are indeed a first-year team. They won the NorCal Plate. They played high school nationals at Central Washington, hosted out in Ellensburg, played in one of the festival brackets there, and realized just how good this team could be even after just 1 year of existence. They are coached by Elvis Saviali, Nakihaupi, Derek. So Derek's the one I've talked to quite a bit, and then managed by Curtis Pop. And then they've been playing a little bit in the NorCal Sevens. They lost in the final to the Sacramento Amazons. This is a program that runs a big high school team. Sacramento Amazons also playing Club 15s. That is the team where USA Eagle Joanne Nana Faavesi comes from. She played on a couple of our Stars tours, was a veteran of 4 Stars tours, and we're looking forward to seeing her play in Rio. So that Sacramento team is quite a good team. So the fact that this Land Park playing as Rhino team played so closely to them, they fell, I believe, by just 2 points. I could be wrong, but here they're going up against Atavus by 5.
That's where patience pays off, right there for Rhino. They played very patiently from the 22 all the way down the field. Played very well, great ball skills, and kept the ball moving. Really, I mean, that was the name of their game that whole time. They were really patient and saw the field and created space and ended up with 5 points.
Yeah, this is a quality side. We were told that we should walk Destiny Nash on the field. She plays number 8 for 15. She's wearing number 2 this weekend. Lariana Angelok is another player to watch, wearing number 3. Jackie Miller, Kira Nixon, and then sisters Alicia and Angel Tao. Alicia and Angel wearing the number 3 and number 15 jerseys. This is a team, again, almost all the Rhino sides traveled a bit light this weekend. You know, we've seen rosters with mostly 9 or 10 players. It is the same story when it comes to these women, but they all know each other, playing together with this Land Park team. This Atavus side as well, playing a lot of rugby. Their team coming from all over. We've got Hopkins, Minnesota. We've got Idaho. We've got Palmer in Colorado. We've got Sophia Fella playing in Shanghai. Girls from Kent Crusaders. So Kent is supplying 3 of the girls on this team for Atavus, and we'll look for them to counter here. This is their number 12. This is McKenna Strong with the ball. She is one of those Kent players taking it into contact. You can recognize her with her red hair out there. And we see the turnover, and this is going to be Rhino again on the run, and this is their big number 2, Sadie Holt Warren. crashing hard, and she offloads to their number 14. That's Jackie Miller. You know, we've seen a couple of good number 14s on the field this week. You know, 14 out of number we usually see in 7s, but there have been a few games I remember from the Rhino boys side.
Right.
Maybe that's a lucky number.
Defense here. Just turn the ball back over, and we'll see if they can counter. How successful that can be. Just need to be patient and move the ball around.
Yep, and that's exactly what Atavus is doing. They're going through the hands. This is that number 12. We talked about her before, McKenna Strong. She is running strong on the field. The referee is playing quite quick in his chase there, but well done by...
Tossie in his old age. He can keep up. Not bad.
Rhino stopping the play. So sweeper doing her job. That was number 8 from Rhino, taking care of the sweeper position there, Kira Nixon. And so slowing Atavus down, tying them up yet again. So Atavus with some solid good forward, a great break. They've got the numbers there if they can just get the ball out. And we see a couple players trailing far behind. This could be a great opportunity for Atavus as the Rhino team not quite aligned on defense. They've got 3 there, but not all 7. And it's advantage. Looks like it's to be a scrum to Rhino.
Yeah, they knocked that ball on. It's too bad. It left some points on the table right there by not holding onto that ball.
So it is a Rhino lead, currently up 5-0 over Atavus. We're about 1 minute left in this opening half of action. So a battle of the big blues here.
Battle of the big blues. Would that be alliteration?
Yes. Assonance is when it's vowels. Told you I like my grammar.
You do like your grammar. Good for you. It's important. It's a lost art.
You know, it's going to disappear as this day goes on. We're sitting here. These players are playing 3 games of rugby, and we're commentating on about 20. So.
Well, we're not running around in the sun. We're in a nice shady tent, so we're not, you know,
That's
we're not losing our minds.
Yep. I think we owe it to the Utah Lions for setting up this tournament, this North American Invitational, just being expertly run. There's been no first tournament jitters that I've been able to see, only the most minor of hiccups, and that's just, we've had more people fill in. So short a couple refs, more refs show up, the community's chipping in. It's great that Ashley was able to come and run touch. We had Vaha come up from Las Vegas. You know, there's a couple people with Utah ties, and of course so many local Utahns. Is that it?
You said it right, yeah.
All right. You know, Rhino's just doing it right, taking the ball off the scrum. They had the player outside wide. She came in for support. Great job adjusting to that line of running. So when that number 3 from Rhino Rugby took it into contact, I love how number 8, that's Kiara Dixon out there, adjusted her line to be in closer support, not just waiting on the wing and babysitting the sideline. Impressive stuff out of this first-year team. We see a penalty, though. It looks like Atavus with the penalty, calling for the ball to go quick. See it now. Tossie's going to a card.
And we got a yellow card against Rhino.
So this yellow card will carry over into the second half. There are 40 seconds on the clock here left in the first. We'll start the first half. 2 minutes. Yep. So another minute 20. This is number 2, Sadie Holt Warren. That is in the submit. And this 2 minutes, at least at the international level and the adult level, wouldn't start until she actually sat down in the bad person chair. She'd be put in timeout, literally. So we'll see how strict this tournament is on the rules.
Atavus takes advantage of that one person down.
They sure do, and that is Meg Gold from Idaho Falls, Idaho, number 5, dotting it down. She looks a lot like another player we're going to see in this tournament with the Play Rugby USA team. There's a player, Megan Bird, out of Oak Creek in Wisconsin.
Have you been to Idaho Falls?
I have only been to Idaho once, and that was when we took a trip to Yellowstone.
Oh, it's a great place.
I've been to Montana.
Small town.
Enjoyed that, but never.
Well, Montana's fantastic.
Never to Idaho Falls.
Idaho Falls, I mean, it's great. But I mean, you go on the way to Salmon and see how I said that? Salmon?
A little bit of a twang.
A little twang.
It's in the West. We are in the West here. And actually, we're at halftime here. It is a halftime score. 5-5 tied up. Atavus is going to go into the second half with a 1-man advantage, playing 7 against 6. We had a player from the Rhinos yellow carded. So Sadie Holt Warren's going to get a little bit of an extra recovery time here. We go into halftime.
Much needed, I imagine. Get some water in you, get stretched, rest those legs, get in some shade if you can. Doesn't look like anyone is.
We have our little village across the way, though. I'm enjoying this tent and athlete village with our spectators across the way. Smart with this Utah sun. We'll see what adjustments Coach Josie Zaluka makes with her Atavus players here at halftime. And again, a whole roster of coaches here with Rhino Academy, all supporting each other's teams. Fantastic to see. We might need to get these refs some water, so I'm going to take a minute here and see if Tossie needs anything.
We'll give a quick shout out while Liz is giving some water to the referees. Give a quick shout out to our sponsors, Canterbury and Golf On Rugby. They've been great. Canterbury has some great apparel that you can buy, and also supplying USA Rugby with their uniforms, as well as Alex Goff providing great insight on rugby in America and the state of affairs of rugby. So go check out Golf On Rugby and get all the insights that you need for high school, collegiate, and men's and women's rugby. We'll be right back.
I think it ends at 4 o'clock. And I think we've caught up time during all the breaks that we used, 20 breaks that happened. Got a minute to observe. Sadie Holt Warren.
And we are back, second half, Atavus and Rhino.
And we are tied 5-5 here, field 1 action. This is the girls U18 Elite Division. So Atavus still with a 1-person advantage. We got a player still in the sin bin for the Rhino team. She's got about another minute to serve. And of course, we'll have to wait until the referee allows her back on the field. She can't just run back on, has to wait for the appropriate stoppage in play. So we'll see what Atavus can do here with this advantage. Sometimes you see these teams just like a power play in hockey. Then they pack in on the defense because there's just like, you know, it's that much more urgent that they play together. And we will see those tries from time to time. We saw that in the Harriman game.
We did.
So they were short a man. They had their prop out. They got to take a little bit of advantage of having short other scrums. But, you know, that sense of urgency and really just realizing that every player has to do a bit more makes a difference. It's a very long way of going about saying that.
You know, you lost me at hello.
We had Adele on at halftime there, so.
I'm still thinking about that dance off.
Right now.
Running man challenge. I gotta work on my skills.
After the scrum.
We were at the girls' high school national championships one year, hosted in Wisconsin, and there was a big spontaneous dance party that broke out. They did a little bit of a welcome rally on the Friday night, and basically every time a team got together and made a huge circle. So we saw these girls, you know, from Danville and Fullerton and Fallbrook, and then, you know, girls from Snow Canyon, and, you know, just all over the country, just getting together and having fun.
It's a blast. That's fun. That's what rugby's all about. Great friendships from all over the world.
Saw a solid tackle there.
Great post.
Yep. So Rhino Rugby creating the turnover ball here. They're doing some good work. I've been very impressed with their defense, and I think that's.
I got a line break. Can she take it to the crib? So we're still with that?
You're still with that.
Am I?
I would love to see her slow her run and change pace. So there's so many tools when you have a breakaway like that too, you know, and a lot of times we talk about sometimes the sweeper or the fullback in 15s has magnet pants and just draws the runner to her.
Magnet pants.
Because it so often happens that you have 70 meters wide on the field, 100 meters long. That means you have, you know, over like 7,000 square meters of space to operate in, and you go to the 1 square meter with the sweepers.
Yeah.
So you can beat her with speed, but you can change your pace. So it doesn't have to be blazing fast speed. You can do the little drag, or you can use your steps, you can use your kicks, you can use the fake. One of my favorite plays ever was watching a game where a player faked to the referee because the referee was in pursuit. And she faked the pass, and the player bit on it, and then she scored the try.
Oh, wow. Wow.
So you see a couple player changes. Again, this Rhino roster being a little bit lighter in numbers, making use of their depth. Well, or lack of depth, I should say, but making use of their bench, bringing players on and off since they are allowed any 5-player changes. It's not a permanent sub situation any longer, so a player can come off and go back in as long as there's no more than 5 changes. Of course, blood substitutions being the one exception.
Atavus retains that scrum. It's a great scrum. Getting possession.
Yeah, and they've got some space to run here. This is Brianna Kim wearing that number 8 jersey for Atavus, and this number 11 following up in her support there.
Way to stay. She stood on her feet, or rather, she stayed on her feet and went for the ball cleanly and got that penalty. Way to go.
Yep, and my apologies here. I actually don't have a number 11 roster. That might be Aaron. That's the one player I'm missing one for. So I'm going to guess that number 11 is Aaron Eschbach from Kent. I apologize if I'm wrong, but number 11 with the French braid and good support of her team. So this is Rhino again. They're doing a fantastic job of defense and poaching and creating opportunities. That is Sadie Holt Warren, that number 2 for Rhino with the ball, offloading from contact. So a little bit of 15 style play here. I think, you know, as the day goes on, it's going to get rough to stay as patient as it normally would be for 7s. Get a little bit cranky when it's hot. You just want to hit some people. We see a knock on by Rhino, so advantage from the referee. This is going to be a scrum to Atavus. We'll see, they've done well in the scrum so far.
Seems like nobody wants to go get that ball.
Well, we're missing our expert ball girls from before. Their shift was done at 1:30. I wish they'd stayed on because they did a fantastic job earlier. Whichever team they were associated with, we had some delightful ball girls here earlier in the day. Very concerned with making sure that they got everything on time. Okay, should we do the next game too? I said, sure, if you want to, if you're having fun.
Excellent, excellent work. If you're listening, we want you back. We miss you.
If your parents are listening, good work. So Atavus does indeed maintain possession here on the scrum. They go to number 8. And we hear a call for bubbles. I'm wondering what this means. We're gonna have to find out what Atavus terminology is, but bubbles is a fun term.
Yeah, I like that. Let's decipher the calls.
If I were being really cheeky, I might have bubbles as a kick call to float the ball in the air like a bubble escaping.
There comes out the art. You know, it's not much of a science game, a very artistic game.
Isn't that, how about the art here of Kira Dixon on this breakaway for Rhino? This is their number 8. She is a threat, and the coaches pointed her out to us earlier when we were getting some pregame info from them. It was a good chase by the Atavus number 4. We'll see if she got there in time. Referee calling. He wants to review with his touchy. So we don't have the video review. We don't get to see that great box TV option.
Touchy situation.
So
That was bad. That was
check with his assistant referees here.
That was bad.
So that was
listeners, we're sorry that you have to put up with my really bad cliches.
It's all right. It's been a long day. So that was number 4, Sophia Fellow, that was on the pursuit with Atavus there, playing in that sweeper position. She is their player that is in high school in Shanghai. It looks like we have a line-out ruled. So she tackled her to touch. It was a fantastic run by Kira Dixon, the number 8 from Rhinos. We'll see what they can do here. It's going to be an Atavus throw, but we'll see if Rhino can steal, because that is a tall number 14 that they have on the field, Jackie Miller. And she's another one that's some distinguishable hair.
Some distinguishable hair, it absolutely is. It actually maybe has a helmet or a pillow.
It could be, maybe it's helping with the tackles.
But it's helping with the tackles and the scrums, absolutely.
So speaking of, she'll take her luxurious mane into the scrum. It is a Rhino scrum, line out, not straight. They have the option for the line out or the scrum. So Rhino going to try to drive this in. And the ball comes out the other side of the tunnel. We see a high pass from their scrum half. They've got some space out, but Atavus has been quick when they're in alignment on defense, so they've got that covered. Again, it's Rhinos looking for their options. They've got 2 outside.
Oh, could it be? Could it be?
So looking for Sadie there, the number 2, 14,
close.
Jackie Miller.
They're getting close.
Looks like the ball was backwards, so play on. We'll see what Atavus can do to try to create a turnover.
Weak
and
side,
it's just out.
Jump inside. Yep, they got it.
And that is a try from Liriana Angelak.
Great
I'm
work.
sorry, I mispronounced that. Angelak.
Great work. Great ball movement. Way to not give up, though. The determination on that phase was fantastic. I mean, they had plenty of space out wide when they were on the far side of the field, but they decided to come bring it back in, and they just ground it out.
And that's one thing that'll come with more time playing rugby and playing together. The crispness of the passes, you know, some of them going high, and they're doing a fantastic job of recovering. You know, we saw it was kind of a high pass from scrum half. She was under pressure. The ball came all the way out on the other side of the scrum. So as they play more and drill more, you know, this is a team that's in their first year. It's impressive effort.
Absolutely.
So the kick is missed from their number 8, Kira Nixon, and that is the game. It is going to be 10-5. Rhino takes out Atavus in the girls U18 Elite Division. We got more rugby yet to come. Any closing thoughts on that game, Matt?